Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome to live yoga. Starting a bit late today. Tell me in the comments as you come in, like, how has your routine changed? How has your routine changed in the mornings? Is it earlier? Is it later? Go ahead and grab your lemon water or coffee or tea. We're just going to give it like 2 more minutes for people to hop on. Hey guys, good morning. So we're just gonna jump in here. Keep track of everything we've used so far. Okay, so welcome guys to day 4. We are going to take the weekend off from live so you guys can catch up on the videos from the week, and also so I can recharge and get some self-care in. I've appreciated your messages so much, your shares to your group so more people can get their yoga on. Today I wanted to offer lemon water. Hey Ash. So every single morning, especially before I do my yoga practice, I have just put a drop of water in a glass. So it has to be glass, or it has to be ceramic or metallic, something like that, not plastic. But you put the drop in and then add the water. So you can either do boiling water that you have let cool, right? Thanks, Joanna. Or heat it up in the microwave. I know less healthy, but more convenient. And that's all you need. I promise you, if you're starving in the morning, you just need some water to kind of cleanse everything and to get you started for the day, because you don't want anything else, especially before your practice, right? And then usually afterward, I'll grab a smoothie. My lunch is usually like a breakfast, but it's been really awesome because when you just fast a little longer than you think you should, you just really, I feel like you get to a spiritual place deeper, you get to a cleansed space deeper, you detoxify. There's so many important things about that. So if you're new to this practice, go ahead and grab props around your house. I have a chair, I have yoga blocks, but you can also use a regular box, or Tupperware or kids' toys. Pillows from your couch or bed, okay? So today we're actually going to do a pretty chill practice. I had some requests for actually chilling it out a little bit. So taking it a little slow, morning chill yoga. So at the beginning though, we are just going to activate a little bit of energy without even moving much. So we're going to use our breath Now I keep telling you throughout these videos, I have some disc bulges in the back. So even though I'm going to cue more advanced things, I will offer a modified practice. Okay, so I'm sitting in hero right now. You can sit on a pillow, you can sit on a block, and actually I'll show you what I'm offering as an addition to what we're going to do. So we're going to sit, bring our arms up, and pull the energy down. Now, those of you who want a little more energy, you can actually bring your knees up while we do this. Inhale and do this. So that's actually what I typically do. I'm just not supposed to stretch too much my back that way. So go ahead and find your position, okay? We are really focusing when we do this on the root chakra. So maybe next week I'm going to go a little bit deeper into the energy centers. But today we're really focusing on the root, right? And like getting grounded, okay? So earlier in the week you saw me diffusing balance and talking about balance as a grounding oil. Today, even though we're going to be doing kind of a rooted practice, I'm diffusing orange and grapefruit. So really uplifting to the senses, drinking lemon. So lots of citrus theme today, okay? So go ahead just for a moment. We'll sit here centering. And real quick centering today. Just go ahead, put one hand on the belly, maybe one hand on the heart. Close the eyes. I want you to feel all the noises that are going on in your home today. I want you to notice maybe the heat that's on, the kids in the background. Maybe your TV is on. Maybe that's getting you a little anxious. Doesn't matter. Go ahead and breathe into all of it. And say, this is my life. Right now or for the next 5 weeks or whatever. Inhale. Expand into the ribs. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Feel the light from your ceiling or your home or maybe the windows just pouring into your closed eyelids. I actually close my windows for this so that you guys don't see the glare, so I'll open them after. Exhale. Just a few breaths like that. Just knowing that any noise that you hear from now on, any distractions, aren't distractions at all. They're just a white noise. They're just part of your practice. Accept all of it, good and bad. Accept all of it as here to teach you something. We'll bring our hands together in front of our heart. We'll bring our voices together. You can either listen or join in. Take a deep inhale. Good. Exhale, release your hands, release your chin. Good. And as you inhale, go ahead and start to bring those hands out to the sides, bring them up. And exhale right down to heart center. Good. Again, if you're just starting, we're going to do this interactive, energetic practice, rooting down. You can either sit down into easy pose and lift your knees while we lift our hands, or just lift your hands with me in hero. So go ahead, the next time your hands are up, you're going to keep them up. And I'll show you what it looks like. You can join in at any time. It's going to go short breaths in, exhaling out. You can go faster. We do this about 15 more times, real fast though. Slow it down. Big breath out. Go ahead and just feel what that did to your insides. Really activated some things for you people. Good, and then just exhale, roll it out. Come over to your side if you're not already on your bootay. And then come on down to your backs. We're going to stay hanging out on our backs for the first part here. So roll on down, or gingerly bring your forearms down and all the way down onto your back. You guys see me okay? All right, I'm going to do this for now. pull this down and then I'll move it if I stand up. Okay. So here, I want you to find some intuitive movement today. So for those newer yogis who were asking yesterday just about foundational stuff for me is all about feeling what your own body can do, right? This is yoga for everybody. People always tell yoga teachers, oh, well, I can't do yoga because I'm not flexible enough. And it's interesting because when inflexible people come to my classes, physically speaking, they are the people who understand my cues the best. They are the people that see the biggest changes within themselves the earliest because they feel everything. They don't know, the poses, and it's amazing because as they start to understand the limitations and what their own body can do, it's incredible to see that progress. So all I'm doing, if I haven't told you yet, is bring the feet wide to your mat, and you're just windshield wiping back and forth. And the hands can be out to the side. They can be palm down. They can be low and palm down, but I like them wide here because we're starting to stretch out every single thing in our body. You can even bring them way overhead. I have all these like props in the way that are helpful for me, like my big table here, my big craft table. Just get to hold on to it. See, home practice is awesome. Where I used to live, the ceiling was so low. Just do this, guys. We're just going to do this for like 20 minutes. I'm kidding, but seriously, do it. It's amazing. But on my last place I lived, my ceiling was so low that if I did a handstand, my feet would touch the ceiling. A little prop, right? You push into the ceiling. All right. So from here, we're just going to do the opposite. We're going to, don't do that. I'm just unbunching my yoga mat. There's too many props in the way. All right. So we're just going to bring the feet in toward the chest. Now, those of you who can curl the knees into the chest, go for it. My back limits me at the moment. By the way, my disc issues are from an old, horrible spinal injury, like a really forced, traumatic spinal injury. And then years of forward folding, picking up my son, who was ginormous, and not doing enough of this for myself. Teaching others, but not teaching myself. So no worries, none of this is hurting your disc, hopefully. If it does, joint pain, anything like that, just stop. All right, so you're just bringing your knees into your chest. So some of you are going to curl your knees in, and you can even hug up a little bit, but we're just coming into a wide kneed kind of back and forth. And so you should feel the floor, right, supporting your back. You should feel this beautiful back massage right now. Now go ahead and bring the feet up into that happy baby position. So we're going to bring the knees down toward the armpit, right? We're going to kind of engage the feet and rock side to side. Here. And now we're going to drop the left foot down. So now, guys, maybe if you had the shin in the happy baby on the right side, like your hand wrapped around the shin, see if you can go a little deeper. Like maybe you can grab the toe, or maybe you can bring your thumb on the inside of the pinky, right? And you just rock back and forth here. So you're just really opening up that right side. Now, some of you might be able to get a little deeper into the extension here, just for fun, opening it up. And we're not going into figure four today, or at least not yet. We're just going to open the hips. And then I want you to drop the foot down. Go ahead and rock them again. Just not as deep, but just rock the knees back and forth a little bit. Now, what you see that I'm doing here on my yoga mat, if you have a yoga mat, you don't need a yoga mat, by the way, but if you don't have one, but what I'm doing is having my hands underneath the mat. See? Elephant ears. I'm just having my hands underneath the mat, but here's what happens. I move my hands up, I curl my big long fingers over the top of the mat, and now I grip it. So my thumb's underneath, and I grip it, and it's amazing. It's one of my favorite things to like open the shoulders. Okay, so happy baby again, inhale. Exhale. Feel that side to side. You're going to drop the right foot this time.
open up that left side. Again, now that we don't have both, our back isn't as kind of restricted. So we can either grab the big toe or a thumb in between the pinky toe and this, whatever that toe is, ring toe. Is that what we call that? Exhale it out. So nice to have you guys here. Comment later after the practice. I want to know what your routines are, how your day's going, how your week's going. And then you can extend the foot here, extend the leg, only if that's in your practice. You can extend it up, extend it out, right? So this is more of what I was talking about with the find your own situation, find your own body movement. And I know some of you are thinking, well, how do I know if it's good or bad for me? So we're going to kind of just like talk about it throughout the class today. It's trial and error. And then exhale, release that. Good. Now make sure you have some room behind you, okay? You can keep the feet here, or you can extend them out. This mat is crazy. Give me a second. All right. Go ahead from here. You can either, like I said, extend the feet out into a Shavasana shape, or you can keep the knees bent. And all we're going to do is inhale the arms overhead. Props out of the way. Exhale, release. Inhale overhead. Exhale, release. So some of you, we're going to keep going, right? Just inhale, lift it up. And then exhale all the way behind you. Now, some of you, this is really hard, right? I have a lot of guys that come to my classes in my gym and in my studio. And if you're a lifter, if you lift, if you do construction, if you've never, come to yoga before, then you have really tight shoulders, probably really tight upper back. And this is like, you're probably wincing right now. And I always I call them my overachievers. I always tell them, listen, if you're wincing, that means you're forcing through. You're forcing through the pose. We don't want anything to be forced. So you might only come halfway, like you might come to here. Or when you get to this point, you might actually open your shoulders and feel how good that feels. Holy cow, right? For those who have tight shoulders. Inhale back up. And you might be able to come here, right here. Good, so inhale it up. Exhale it back. Here's the point wherever you get tight. That's the point where you might open it up. The rest of us will go all the way. Good. Couple more, guys. Few more, guys and gals. And so I offer you today for an affirmation to just let it go. Right? Just release. Good. You're just going to release that which doesn't serve you. What does that mean? Anything that doesn't serve you. Any emotion that's not serving you right now. Any tension that's not serving you right now. If you didn't see my class from last night, I didn't label it yet because I was tired. But it's tapping. We went tapping. It's an incredible practice. Right? So just let your affirmation for today be, let it go. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go. All right. So here, as we come up to the center with the hands, I want you to open your hands out again. And we're going to do something crazy. We're going to heel toe the feet together. Heel toe them together. And here, we're going to actually bring our right hand all the way over to meet our left. And we're going to roll onto that left side. Now, what I want you to do here is kind of scooch your legs and feet together. And we're kind of rolling up in this little ball. And our hands are together in this prayer position. So root it down. Now, what we're going to do here, We're going to keep the right knee on top of the left as much as possible. And my legs are pretty close, right? They're going to be pretty close, like at this right angle. We're going to inhale, open up the right hand, okay? And the left hand can either stay there or it can come onto the top of the knee. And we're going to roll open into this twist. Now, some of you might be stuck here. What you want to do is start to roll, and by here, if you're not watching, I mean the right hand is stuck in the air and your shoulder can't come down. You're going to roll that left shoulder down. So now you can start to open up completely. Now, some of you are going to be completely flat on the upper back. And what we're going to do is try to get there for those of you who, for this is hard. Now, if your hand is stuck way out in the air, I don't want it there because that might tear on the rotator cuff. The hand is going to stay on the hip and you're going to bend the elbow and come down. But the rest of us, see if the knees can stay together. It's super hard, isn't it? To keep the knees together and keep the shoulder down. So you're working with a lot here. You're going to rock that shoulder down. Find this gorgeous, gorgeous little twist. This is an incredible twist for tension in the neck, actually. So breathe it in, exhale, release. As long as those knees try to stay in alignment, right? And you release it out. We're going to hold this for quite a bit here, like about a full minute, which in yoga world, if you're doing breaths, this is like 10 super long, like 6, 7 count breaths. And so what happens theoretically is the body starts to come into alignment. And gravity starts to take hold. Now, if you're still kind of wincing and you're not sure how to be supported here, I want you to grab your pillows and kind of just stick them behind your back. Stick them behind your back. You can even grab a pillow and put it in between your knees. Is anyone like this when they sleep, by the way? It's just pillows everywhere. Good. And just let gravity. Now, I can tell, because I'm doing it too, some of you are like trying to get the knees together so much that your hips are tight and shaking. Go ahead and release that. Remember the theme today? Let it go, let it go. Let out a big sigh. Let out a big sigh. I'm having so much fun here with myself, can you tell? I hope you are too. Just a few more breaths here. If you're like me, if you're diffusing anything today, citrus oils, getting your limonene in for the day. I'm going to be doing an oil class, an essential oil class, why you need essential oils during this time to be diffusing. And if you're not already over at my Oil This by Jenny group, come on over. I'm going to share a video by Dr. Hill today, how he talks about all the essentials for you. Okay, start to inhale back to center. So what we're going to do, guys, is curl the hand, the fingertips in toward the body. So start to curl the fingertips into a fist. Start to curl the wrist into an elbow. Start to curl the elbow into close. Yes, and then exhale back to completely coming into that kind of lotus hands clap position. Okay, and then as we exhale, come back to center. Just roll back to center. You should feel quite different on one side versus the other. Now, I don't have a lav mic, so I'm going to do this on the other side with you. So keep your head facing the right side on this next part. I'm just going to kind of turn my head towards you so you can hear me a little better. Sound waves coming at you. So what you're going to do is start to just rock back and forth and then rock over to that right side. So let the knee system come over to that right side. Let the knees come together. Right, scooch on your mat. Get your props nearby if they're not. The right hand is going to be down, palm up. The shoulders are just kind of stacked on top of one another. And the hand just comes, the left hand just comes right on top of the right. Just come into that nice, cozy, like fetal position almost, but the hands are just extended. And you're going to stay here, and now make sure the props are nearby, right? You're going to start to inhale, curl that left hand apart. You're going to let it come and just touch every part of the upper chest, upper body, and then start to open it up. Now, again, if your hand is stuck out in Never Never Land, you're going to start to bring the right shoulder closer toward the right hand, right? So you're going to kind of inch over so the upper back is flatter, right? And so you're actually pointing your head toward the ceiling if you can. Now, those with the hands straight up in the air because your shoulder's tight, go ahead and bring the hand to the hip and try to let that shoulder relax. Now, I'm a little bit more limited on this side, so I'm going to grab a pillow and actually put it under my upper back, and I'm going to grab another pillow, and my knees are okay here, but I'm going to put one under my lower back. So see if you need a pillow under your top knee. We're going to try to keep the knees on top of one another. And this, guys, too, the pillows under your back is actually helping your knee stay put. Okay, but if you have any knee issues like bone on bone, ouchiness, go ahead and just breathe in here. Into the belly. What can you release? I can release tension in my neck, that's for sure. Okay, if your kids are crawling on you, just like be safe in this position because it's pretty deep. Do your own version of a twist, right? But if you're in the true position, we're just trying to let go, let release, let gravity take us, right? If you saw some of my earlier videos, we're talking about adaptability and the ability to be with what is, right? Lots of people are having tension and fear creep up, and anxiety. And that's fine to recognize and to let it come up because we're human, we have emotion, we're supposed to do that. But we're not supposed to let it stay. We're not supposed to let it linger, okay? Good. As you inhale, okay? Even if that arm isn't out, I want you to let the arm come out however is comfortable. Start to curl the fingertips in to make a fist. Start to curl the fist in to make a closed elbow. Start to curl the elbow in and then coming into the hands together once again. Go ahead and start to lift everything back out, back up and out together. Okay. I just felt some snaps and crackles and pops. I hope you did, right? So that's the spine kind of like, okay, unsticking. Now what we're going to do is either bring your hands to your knees, or if you can curl your feet and grab onto your feet, you're going to rock and roll forward and back all the way up to seated. If you're okay with that in the spine, those of us with compromised backs or with injuries, we're going to roll up like old people. I'm calling myself old, so don't even be offended by that. Okay, and we're gonna come to seated. Okay, now from here, bring your hands to your hips. What is this? This is not a hip, these are knees. So let's bring our hands to our knees. And we're gonna, first of all, feel nice and tall in the belly, right? Inhale, and as we exhale, we're just gonna roll it out. Roll it out. Right? Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Now you can get a little deeper with this. I'm just like chilling. Like I've been teaching so much this week, like more so than usual, that I need some self-care, right? So thank you guys for joining me. I'm just going to take the opportunity to thank you for joining. Thank you for your support. Now bring your self up, and then you're going to let one foot come in and the other foot go out. So you're just going to switch it up and go the opposite way. Ah, so good. Right? Sometimes the most restorative postures are the best. The best.
Inhale, exhale. And by going deeper, you guys, I meant bring the chest forward even more and then curl back even more. I'm just kind of keeping it super neutral today. Awesome. Go ahead and start to bring your hands behind you, fingers forward if possible, and you're going to release the feet. So this is what we did on our backs. We're just doing it on our seat. Release the seat, release the legs, and just rock side to side. Now, as you go back and forth, you're going to let the knees just fall to one side. Let them fall to one side. Now here, you could feel a little wonky in this position. So I want you to really let the legs do what they want. You can start feeling a cramp here. This could feel really tight for you. So what I mean is you can kind of make them wider. You can bring them together more. It doesn't really matter. Your hands, try to bring one hand on one side of the knee and the other hand on the other side of the knee. So what we're doing here is actually massaging out the glutes, right? Major glute, minor glute. Good. Now, any like kind of sharp pains that you feel in your practice, no bueno. That usually means you have pinching going on, joint compromisation. Any pain that's like muscle, like you're like, ooh, muscle massage. Just keep going with it. Right? So we're just we're building muscle, a lot of us this week. We're massaging it out. And then if you actually want to turn this into more of a pigeon-y shape, you can. Some of you might go into a pigeon. I'm not doing it today, but you can actually turn all the way straight up, hips like straight up, and then let that straighten out. And you can turn into that pigeon and even fold forward. Lemon water. One more sip I need. Okay, so stay here for a minute. A quarter more minute. Lots of blabbing. And then bring your hands back behind you. Release your feet back to that wide part of your mat. You know, if your mat is the other way. And then you're just going to rock the other way. So go ahead, come to that opposite side. Hands on either side. And just roll it out this way. Now you can actually use this back knee as an anchor to open up the groin. So back and forth here. And then just adjust your legs, adjust your feet. Maybe they're wider, right? Maybe they're closer together. Just whatever is helpful for you to avoid cramping, right? Open up that shoulder, relax the shoulder. Let it go, let it go. You can even start to open up the neck here. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Go ahead and start to turn it into that pigeon shape only if you have that in your practice. I use every opportunity of movement to like find a new stretch. So I'm stretching my left shoulder, opposite neck. Good. And you can come over into that pigeon shape. So go ahead and take another half a minute, 15 seconds, whatever you need. I know that's not the same thing, but I meant to give you options. Just going to check the time. Okay. And then exhale, back to center. Fingers forward and just exhale back and forth. Exhale back and forth. Alrighty. So from here, we actually are going to go stand just for a hot second. You're going to bring yourself over to hands and knees. Some of you can come into a forward fold. Invalids, you're going to bring your hands to the chair and step up this way. Or if you don't have a chair in front of you, you're going to take your blocks or box or whatever and start to come up onto hands, onto knees. And I'm going to adjust this so you can see me. And then one foot forward and then the other foot forward. Okay? So go ahead, take your time once you're standing. Once you're standing, and just find your roots.
Okay, find your rootedness, find your groundedness. What I want you to do is start to move back and forth in your toes and heels. And what we're doing is finding those 3 points of the feet, like the first two in the ball and then in the heel. And we're really rooting down here. And start to lift your toes for just a moment so you can actually feel the engagement of your feet and your legs. And then relax the toes, but keep that engagement, guys. I want you to really, if you can't find that yet, redo that. So find the 2 points of your balls of your feet, find the points of your heel, relax the toes, relax the shoulders, and then find the engagement of your legs. Find that stability, find the rootedness of your spine, which just means feel the tailbone rooting down, feel the top of your head rooting up, lifting up, root down, lift all the way up. And exhale right down through heart center. Go ahead, do that a couple more times. Inhale, lift. And I'm actually going to face you because what we're doing just requires standing. Inhale up. Exhale right down through the heart center. Root down, lift all the way up. Good. From here, we're going to grab, you can't see me, but grab the right wrist with your left. Grab the right wrist with your left. Inhale, open it up. We're going to try to keep the shoulders in line here. And 2. And 3. Inhale, back up. Release. Exhale, grab the opposite wrist. Open it up. So we're rooting down. I want you to really root through the feet. Okay, we're not only stretching this left side, maybe right side too, but we're stretching the side that we're bending towards as well. So root down through that side. Okay, mine is the right. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, release that for a minute. Shake it out. Shake it out. Good. We're going to just come and start shaking here. So we're going to start to move our hands and just shake it around the body. Let those big old monkey arms swing around. This should release. And now what I'm doing with my feet is I'm releasing my heels just a little bit. Okay, there's a place to do this when you don't release the heels, but I'm releasing the heels so I have some energy movement in my legs and my knees. And really let go of the hands. Really let them go. Really let go of the shoulders. Feel them like peeling away from the shoulder blades. Good. Close the eyes if you want. We're going to be here another couple moments. You can even start to hit yourself. Okay? This is actually good. It actually is a thing like in Tai Chi world, and you can stimulate your system. If you were with me yesterday, you really started when we were like hitting ourselves. We were stimulating the entire lymphatic system. Good. This is so good. Now here, when you come down, go ahead, let the arms hit yourself. So silly. And then slowly come back to center. Slowly come back to center. Slowly come back to center. Go ahead. Roll the shoulders back. I want you to find your mountain pose here. So roll those shoulders back. Right? Really root down through the feet. Once again, kind of lift up your toes just for a second. Feel those 3 points on your feet. Let the tailbone just go straight down and lift. Even though our spine is an S curve, right? Even though we have curves in our back, I want you to feel the rootedness and feel the liftedness. You should feel pretty zinging right about now. Let it go, guys. Let it go. Let all the tension release from you. Good. And then from here, we're actually going to heel toe the feet together. So if you can, you're going to heel toe the feet. So the toes are actually touching, okay? If you can't do that, you're just going to stay hips distance and you're going to do what we did before, which was hold on to the wrist. But here we're going to try something a little bit deeper. So we're going to bring the hands up. Now we're in steeple pose, right? So we're in steeple pose. Inhale. Let the head stay kind of ears touching the arms, or at least in line with them, right? Inhale. As you exhale, lean over to the side. Doesn't matter which one. The side you're turning away from, start to feel that foot root down into the mat. And now as you go deep, or as you just let go, you're not forcing anything, the foot you're leaning towards might feel rooted, and you feel stretch through every single vertebra space. Inhale. Root down, come all the way up. As you exhale, lean over to that other side, just a little bit. You're letting the breath move you here. Inhale into the belly. Feeling that nice line, long line. 2 more. Really rooted into the feet. Opening through the ribs. Inhale back to center. Exhale all the way down. Roll the shoulders back, guys. So good. Step to the top of your mat. We're just going to do one very slow flow to kind of get all the energy back together. Root down through the feet. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, swan dive all the way down. So many of you are just going to forward fold into a big, forward fold. I'm just going to place my hands on my chair or my blocks. Lift and lengthen once you're there. Step back to down dog. Those of us on the chair, come down to knees. Step down to down dog. I'm just going to adjust the video one more time. And you guys go ahead back to downward facing dog, which is just hands and knees, or hands rather and feet, butt in the air. Okay. And just walk that dog. So your heels never have to touch, remember. You can always come on the balls of your feet and just bend one knee, bend the other knee. Make sure your head, again, is kind of like in line with the arms. Your shoulders are actually relaxing back, which means relaxing up. And then go ahead and drop the knees. Some of you can stay in down dog. Some of us are going to drop the knees. We're going to lean forward into a plank. Glide forward into a plank or a knee down plank, and then just lower down. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, roll the heart forward, lift the knees, lift the belly. Exhale all the way back to a child's pose or a puppy pose. So child is when the hips come all the way back towards the feet. Puppy is hips high. Walk the hands away, drop the head. You're going to keep the hands extending away from you. Keep those hands extending away. And then from here, guys, listen to this carefully because I don't want you to move your head. I want your head to be down. I want you to stretch your fingertips away from you, but then walk the elbows closer to your head and then drop the elbows. From here, you're going to bend the elbows and lift the hands in prayer pose over your head. So you're getting a nice stretch on the underside of your arms. Stay here for 3 more breaths. Good. The inhale brings that back down. You're going to come on up to tabletop and then sit on the bum. Go ahead, sit on your bum. Good. From here, we're going to extend the feet out. Okay? We're almost done. We're going to come down into Shavasana. Okay, so stay till the end, please. You've done all this work, and I want you to feel the rest that comes with all this energy that you've created, comes into your back as we rest in Shavasana. So just go ahead and popcorn out those legs. Okay, you're going to inhale the right. I'm going to do my right leg into the body, or you're going to bring it across. Okay, so you can either hug that knee in, or you can go ahead a little deeper and bring the elbow to the outside of it and just hug here. I'm going to hug it in. Inhale, open up
that right hand, bring it back. The other option I have for you, if you have that leg extended, some of you are going to bend it right in so the knee is on top of the knee. Okay, and go ahead and find that little twist. Okay, you're going to start to twist towards the right, if you're doing the same side I am, towards that bent knee. And you're going to feel like you're squeezing out a towel, wringing out a towel. So from the lower spine all the way up, muscles around the bone, fascia around the muscle. Relax the shoulder for 3 and 2 and 1. As you inhale, come back to center. You're just going to do a tiny little counter stretch. So the right arm can come on the inside of of the right knee here. I usually am used to doing mirror imaging in class, but I just decided to do regular. Tell you what I'm doing. Go ahead and stretch the right neck here. I know you have one neck, but it's the right side. And then inhale back to center. Use your hands to unwind if you need to. Popcorn those legs out. And then inhale that left leg towards you, bend the knee. Or you can bring it across the body. Go ahead and hug it in. Or inhale the elbow and let it come down. Exhale. Okay? And again, you can bring that extended leg to bend in, so it's knee over knee. Bending those knees and twisting around the spine for 3 and 2. Inhale all the way forward. We're going to bring that left arm on the other side for a little counter stretch. And 3 and 2. Inhale back to center. Go ahead and release everything here. You're going to wind down and just go onto your back. So come with me. All the way onto your backs. Full body stretch. So full body stretch. Reaching through the toes. Reaching through the fingers. Exhale. Release. One more time. You can bring the feet wide and just roll side to side. Rock side to side. Good. And here, just to finish off, we're going to bring our feet into Supta Baddha Konasana. So bring the feet together, the soles of the feet together. If you need props, you can grab your pillows and bring them underneath your knees here, underneath your legs. Should feel pretty delicious. Inhale. The arms can come overhead, or they can come into cactus, which just means the elbows bend and you kind of are opening up the shoulders that way. Good. We're going to be here for the remainder of the practice for Shavasana, or at any point you can extend your legs and release your hands down next to you and just do a full Shavasana. So we have about 5 minutes or so to be here, 6 minutes to be here and release into this pose. Start to extend the spine wherever you are. And really, guys, I want you to think to yourself, let it go, or any variation thereof. Release, let go what's not working for me, release what's not serving me. Okay. Breathing into the belly, letting everything go. If you start to think of something, your to-do list, or a worry, or something that you in the past, or something in the future, I want you to think of all of those things as clouds in the sky. They're just clouding up your mind, they're clouding up your day. And the breath, just like the wind, blows it all away.
Now notice here where the tension is in your body. I want you to kind of body scan. We'll actually start with the toes today. So scan the toes and see if there's any tension there. Can you send some breath to the toes and just let that go? Can you send some breath to the feet, to the ankles, and let that go? Can you send some breath to the shins, to the calves? To the knees, to the legs, to the hips. Send some breath to the low back here, to the mid back, to the belly, where we digest everything, food and emotions and ideas and news. Digest everything in the belly. And then send some breath to the chest. Some people are collapsed in the chest. We want to open that up. Send breath to the shoulders. Send breath to the arms, whether they're in cactus or relaxing down by your side now, or on your belly or hips. Send breath to the shoulders, especially to the neck. Feel the jaw release. Feel the tongue release in the mouth. Feel the cheekbones release. Feel the eyes release in their sockets. Feel the forehead release. Feel the ears release, guys. And the forehead releases all the way back to the skull touching the mat. I want you to stay here for one more moment in silence. Panchaya Shantaya Niralambhaya Tejase. Deepen your breath. Let subtle movements come into your body. Hands and feet and eyes and ears. And as you deepen your breath, let the exhales bring the knees toward the chest, nice and light, nothing forced. And just rock side to side as you come side to side, over onto one side. And then as you're on that side, just resting for a moment, feeling the energy you've created for yourself as you let the head be heavy, rolling up to seated, pushing off with your elbows with your hand. Facing front, eyes closed, hands together at the heart. You can stay here and just listen to my sound of peace or join in with me as we deepen our breath. May all beings know peace, may all beings know gentleness, may all beings know compassion,
May the light in me shine to that light that you know you have within you. You just gotta let it shine. Om Shanti. So much peace. Namaste. Bring your thumbs into the tops of your eye sockets and just push on that gorgeous meridian line right here. Oh, feels so good. And guys, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I appreciate your donations only in if you're able and willing, because like me, many people are losing their independent gig jobs. And so if you're one of those people, I do not want anything from you, but pass it on to people who still have their work. And thank you so much. And I wanted to read to you a quote from Eckhart Tolle, which is, be at least as interested in what goes on inside you as what happens outside. So be at least as interested in what goes on inside you as what happens outside. If you get the inside right, the outside will fall into place. And so what he's referring to here is this practice of yoga and sitting and heartfulness. And if you can just for 5 minutes with me in the morning or during your shavasana or just on your couch or when you get out of bed, be interested in the present moment of what's going on here in the body, what's going on in our mind, letting those thoughts be clouds as they pass by. Be as interested in that. Give yourself in this next few weeks, month, that moment, that few moments in the morning to just be still. And I promise you, a lot of the things that you thought you should do will fall away. It's incredible. So go ahead and give yourself that heartfulness practice. Thank you so much for being with me today. I'll put a link below or in the post of the citrus oils that I used today, the grapefruit, the orange, and the lemon, so you can read more about that. Have an amazing day, guys. I'll see you tonight at 9 o'clock on your mat. Bye-bye.